and there he is on the pole position going into the first round of the season. Couldn't really be happier, could you? My eyes really are on the guy in the number 2 spot, Cameron Bobbier. I think he's the big news, the jumper up from the Daytona Sport Bike class this year, and after what he did in the DSB class last year, dominance, total dominance. It's going to be fun to watch his progression as well on a Superbike, and obviously Josh. Josh is the guy that's been around that knows so much, so crafty. What a great racer, and he knows how to get it done. He's going to get out there and show these boys what's really going on right now. He's probably not worried at all about being in that 3rd spot.
I think the only thing he's got to be concerned about right now is that he's a little bit of meat in a sandwich of Yoshimura Suzuki's blue and white machines. They're going to be all around him. He's got one in front of him. He's got 2 of them behind him, and they're all formidable competitors. We're talking about Raj Hayden, your pole setter, number 95 if you're new to our sport, and number 36, Martin Cardenas from Medellin, Colombia, number 36. And number 6, Chris Clark, all formidable. It's great to me that we had a little late breaking news that Team Hero Amsoil has an injury. I like having that EBR 1190 RS in this class. One thing about Superbike that thrills fans, wherever we go, Scott, we hear about it a lot. A lot of feedback is the great sounds live at the events of Superbike, because you've got the KTM, it bellows at speed. Big twin, sounds fabulous. The twin cylinder 1190 EBR, amazing sounding motorcycle. This high RPM pitch in Suzuki GSXRs, and then you've got the unique sound of that R1 Yamaha cross-plane crankshaft, giving it a really unique kind of a feel and a sound. But more importantly, I think there are some traction advantages to that bike.
Oh yeah, it definitely puts the power to the ground. But back to the sound real quick. I think the only thing that could do more in this class, and I love the different sounds of all the different bikes, is to uncork them like the MotoGP. I think to bring more interest to this Superbike class, I think take the mufflers off of these bikes. Let's hear them. When you go to a MotoGP race, I don't know what you think, but it's the most exciting thing for me when those guys come by and it just rattles your bones down to the inside. And I think if they were to think about doing something like that maybe here or there, they would really have something.
You are saying what probably 90% of the folks that follow this sport are thinking and not saying. And it does. When MotoGP bikes roll out on the racetrack, you come to the fence because you want to see and hear what you're about to witness. And I do agree. It makes you want to ride one too, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, you better have some good earplugs, I can tell you that, because I've ridden these little R6s and they're quite loud with that little short pipe. I couldn't imagine one of these uncorked. But it would be great for the fans watching, and nevertheless, it's about to be great anyway. This race is about to kick off.
We're pumped about that. The riders are assembling here on our starting grid for the first American Superbike race of 2014. I could not be more excited. We thank you for joining us here at fanschoice.tv for American Superbike race at the World Center of Racing to kick off our 2014 season. Now it is all man and machine because the RPMs are coming up. Clutches are out and they're down and away, and the man on the outside pole is Josh Hayes. He's going to lead them for the first time into turn number 1. He's got Raj Hayden in pursuit in the 2 spot.
Well, he had a good angle from that 3rd spot to try to swoop in on these guys, and he wants to get off the line quick, get that clutch out. Last year he burned the clutch out on the first race, so he wanted to be careful of that right now, and he's really putting his head down right now. He knows that if I don't make a break from these guys, they're going to be all over my back, because they're all hungry to take this spot from him. Number 4 leads them into that first right left, which is the difference in this racetrack. This is where it gets different in the infield right here, Barry. Riders coming together there. It's tight through there, I'm telling you. First gear stuff.
Just what you were saying. The rider crossed over the front tire of the rider behind him. It was a little tank slapper moment right there. I think everybody stayed up. Impressive ride thus far by Cam Bobbier, because he is in that battle with the 36 of Martin Cardenas and others. And he's so composed, though, and so smooth. It's not unlike Josh Hayes to want to get out front and hide from the field, though, is it? He's doing what he loves to do.
That's right. He knows, and he's so good at it. I watched him through practice. That right out of the gate, he's always been the pace setter in the last several years. He's not scared. He's real confident in his machinery. He knows how fast he can go on a new set of tires early in a race, early in a practice session, and I think he really pounds that in. And now look at that gap that he's already got. Gave himself a big cushion right now to work with. So if he could keep it clean, because we're not going to see as much drafting as we've seen in these classes before, because there's not that many guys that are going to be running up front. He's got a real shot.
He told us this Wednesday night on the Talking Motorcycle show. We had the pre-Daytona show, and he said, I like to get out front, and I want to pressure these guys. I want to go, and that's what he's doing right now. He is getting every bit of it out of that Monster Energy Graves Yamaha R1. And this battle back in the second and third spot is a good one. There's Roger Hayden and his teammate Martin Cardenas struggling to work it out. Right now, Hayden has the, well, I was going to say he had the measure of it, but Cardenas put back up on his inside. Just in front of him is the 2 machine of Cam Beaubier in the 2 spot. There goes Hayes. There's Beaubier. His bike's moving around a good bit.
He's really aggressive on the throttle right now. He's one of those riders going to start picking the bike up really quick. I watched him on the first horse check. The thing's bucking and kicking around because it's losing traction as he's trying to do that. So he's going to have to notch that back a little bit. If you watch the leader, he not get into those kind of situations very often.
Being smooth is being fast, isn't it?
But he's under pressure right now because you can see that gap's growing. And he's like, I'm getting a bit desperate. I got to get this guy back and start reeling him in.
And Scott, can he not hear those 2 guys right behind him as well?
He knows they're right there. He just got by both of them, and he knows that they're not going to go away easily.
So now it becomes a battle of horsepower and who can work the draft the best here at the 33-degree banking over in NASCAR 3 and 4. Roger Hayden certainly got his head down. He is in the 3 spot just behind him, Martin Cardenas. I have seen Cardenas lay back in 3rd and 4th last year, several races, and come to the front near the end. I don't know if what you think. Maybe he's got a little more than he's showing.
I think it's all there right now. I mean, everybody's trying to figure out what do I have really, in a race situation. Practice, qualifying, it's all different. You have to kind of do your own thing. Now the heat's on. I got guys in front of me, behind me. I got to perform right now, and you get excited at the first race of the year. You get excited for all the races. So it's a matter of who can calm down right now. I don't think Martin's laying back. Let's say I think he's just doing all he can right now. Because Josh Hayes isn't laying back and he's throwing down the gauntlet. He's got to go to chase him down. Right now he's doing number 2. Smoothed it out really nice by Cam. Calm down a little bit. Get the power to the ground. And then Yamaha, he's losing time when the thing's kicking his bucket.
And to your point, Josh Hayes just turned in the fastest lap of the race last time by the stripe, 138.371. Cam Beaubier, 138.7. You're looking at about 3 or 4 tenths right there between the 2. So Josh is just methodically, slowly turning into slightly quicker lap times by being smooth. I tell you, this battle for 2nd and 3rd spot for our Gatorade Victory Podium is a long way from settled. We're 2 of 15 in the record books. A long way to go in American Superbike here this afternoon.
It looks like Martin's falling off the back there a little bit. He's lost touch with his teammate Roger Hayden. That's not what he wants to see. When you're in a team like that, that's the guy you want to be. This is not the way he's going to want to start the season out. But still early days right now in this race, and it looks to me like the gap's shrinking up front.
It is, as Josh Hayes turned in a 138.371 lap before, but Beaubier just turned in a 138.0. So you're right, Scott Russell, as always.
The
gap is shrinking
right here because our camera work.
Hats off to our camera guys.
Here we go. The race is on now against the 2 Gray's teammates right now. The 4 and the 2. Cameron Beaubier, the rookie in the class right now. He's coming in here. He wants to make a statement, but also he wants to finish this race. You don't want to end up on the ground and do anything stupid in his first race of the year. So, Roger, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I didn't mean to walk on you there. Roger, I'm seeing some wheel spin out of Roger, too. Is that a sign of tire performance?
Oh, Martin's down.
Martin's down. Threw it away.
How easy it happened.
Tuck the front and just slip right off the racetrack out into the grass. Martin Cardenas has suffered a setback here in the early going. If you're going to lose points, you want to do it early in the season. You can at least see where you what you've got in front of you to make it up.
Unfortunately for him, the season's shorter than it ever has been, so it's going to be difficult. You can't afford to give a race away anymore. And Martin just shot himself in the foot big time right there. He saw his teammate and the other riders leaving him behind a little bit. Maybe he pushed a little bit hard in the infield. It's a tricky little infield circuit. It would be easy to override the bike and tuck the front end. And that's exactly what we saw Martin do right there.
So the fastest lap of the race yet again has been turned in. That's 2 in a row that he's done it. Cambobier 137.934, but his teammate Roger Hayden 137.978, while Josh Hayes is turning him at 138s. So at this point in time, I see that we may have a 3-rider battle in soon at our current pace. The way things are shaking out here, lap 4 of 15, and you can clearly see that Cambobier is getting it all out of that motorcycle.
He's riding the wheels off of it right now, Barry. He's playing with different things. It looks like he's turning the bike. He's getting it upright. He's trying to see what he can figure out. You know, this is every lap he turns, he's learning on the SuperBike. He's a quick learner already. He's bringing rods with him, so we're going to have a 3-horse race here in about one more turn, it looks like. By the time we get back to start-finish line, there's going to be 3 players that can win this thing.
You know, the level of competition in AMA Pro Road Racing has been getting better season upon season in recent years. Josh Hayes 2 years ago dominated. He owned this thing. He won 12 of them. Last year he won 8 poles and 8 races. But all of us have kind of been talking about this year. He's got company, and right now we're seeing 2 of the players at different places at different times. I believe Martin Cardenas will be a player. There's no doubt that Cambobier, though, and Raj are having a good Daytona thus far in race 1.
Well, look at this. Here he comes. Here's Cambobier. Is this the first time he's going to lead the Daytona Superbike race? He decides no. The backside of it right there, Barry, just says, I'm going to sit back. I don't have to pass my teammate right now. He runs it way wide.
Oh, he did.
Something happened there.
Big time mistake right there now. It's going to cost him big time. That's going to move Roger Hayden up into the 2 spot. And Bobier back a distant 3rd at the moment. He's got his work cut out for him.
This will be fun to watch.
He may be able to catch him, but right now it looks like Roger Hayden is drawing a bead on Josh Hayes on the Monster Energy Great Yamaha.
Well, basically, you know, you got the 2 riders in 2nd and 3rd, but both broke that 37th barrier. Josh has yet to do that all week. So he's kind of lingered in that 138 range and kind of hit a wall there for some reason. Let's not forget as well that Cambobier had the fastest trap speed in one of those sessions, just a tick over 200 miles an hour. So top speed, whether it's a mile an hour or 2 or 3, they've all gone over 200 now, as you can see it right there.
The top 3 have all been above 200 mile an hour, and that speed, the trap speed is typically through the tri-ovals here in Daytona.
So that mile an hour or 2 can really help you out a lot. And, looking at those top 3 guys right now, Josh Hayes has the least amount of top speed, but he's pushing all the wind out front. Let's see if he ends up behind one of these guys, he can get more speed on that bike, how it runs. But right now, Roger's laying a beat on him.
Roger's feeling the draft right now. He's in the draft.
Yes, sir.
He's feeling
in the
big
pocket.
How much of a confidence builder would it be for Roger Hayden to beat Josh Hayes in a 2-man head-to-head battle in American Superbike in the opener to start this year?
I thought, you know, last year Roger rode better than he ever had, and I think it's just, he said this could be his breakthrough year. We've seen great things out of the other 2 Haydens, and now it's his turn, I think, to shine. And he's got a great team with the Yoshi Suzuki team. They've been around forever. Got a great group of guys over there that give him the best equipment possible. With a Suzuki name on it. And, the 95 is making the most of it right now. And as he closes in on the braking zone a little bit right now, I think they're all settling in. But here comes back the number 2, Cambobier. He had plenty of time to reel these guys back in. He made that mistake. He'll learn from that. I think what happened, he probably hit a false neutral going into 1. And when that happens, you lose all your engine braking. Therefore, you got to let the bike just drift out as you hold your breath again until the thing gets slowed down and you can get back to your program. But it didn't take him long. He's right back on.
He is, in fact, probably coming through the trial this time. He'll be sniffing the draft potentially and will be able to catch him. They come out onto the back stretch here and make their way into the chicane. and working it, and he is working it. He's closing. He should be able to just slip into the draft of Roger Hayden, who is into the draft of Josh Hayes, and all three of these bikes could yet be back together. We got plenty of time. We're on 6 of 15 here, and certainly the FansChoice.tv viewers today are getting to see a good look at Daytona International Speedway American Superbike action as Roger Hayden, he is not closing any longer. He is there with Josh Hayes, as is the two machine of Cam Beaubier. A three-rider battle in American Superbike is unfolding right in front of our eyes here.
Well, you know, when I look at what's going on out here in the last couple of years, I think Josh has been so good in the chicane and getting the bike slowed down enough and really focusing on the drive out. That could pay dividends come on the last lap, whereas a lot of riders can get in there too hot and kind of steal the exit. He always seems like he's able to slow things down enough and focus on the drive out. That seems to be one of his strong points. But if they get close enough to him, that draft is really going to come into play, and he really needs a lot more room than he's got right now to pull that off.
You know, into the chicane that time, Raj actually closed on Josh a little bit, but Josh got a better drive out of the chicane.
Yeah. It's always like that, you know, when you're the guy behind, it's easy to make time on the brakes. You leave it a little bit later, roll over a little bit. Let's see how they play it here. Josh gets in there, he gets it turned tight. Focuses on the throttle right there. You can see him gapped in a couple bike lanes.
Sure did.
But like I said, there's a long way around to the start-finish line. Let's see how that Suzuki handles it. Last lap around, there wasn't enough in it for him to make the pass and start-finish line. We may have to be a little bit closer. He'll be back too.
Thanks for choosing to join our team this year, Scott Russell. Your color analyst work is so fun for all of us motorcyclists. We appreciate you more than we can ever say. As Roger Hayden is stalking Josh Hayes right now. I mean, the three of them are right there together. This time, Roger Hayden has a good run as they head out towards the backstretch one more time. If Roger can stay there up into the banking, the draft will work a lot more effectively for him. Do you think he's maybe not wanting to make that move yet? Do you think he could be wanting to wait for a last lap situation?
I mean, it's hard to say, you know, when you look at what they've done, they were able to run him down, but do they believe that they can combine and continue that run? And that's going to be difficult because they know as soon as you go in front of the draft, they're going to be back on you. So now does he just sit there and he goes to school and he says, okay, well, I'm a little bit better here. He's strong there, so I got to tune that turn up a little bit. And Cam as well, you know, he's back on the back of him. I don't know that he's going to wait around as long. He's a smart kid, though. He might sit right there in third and make that move on the last lap. He's in the perfect spot to make it happen.
You know, that last lap, I was particularly watching Cam Beaubier's line, and Scott Russell, he was working quite a different line than Raj Hayden. On most of the corner entrances and exits, wherever Raj was, that's where Beaubier wasn't. And wherever Raj wasn't, that's where Beaubier was. So he's running a completely different line a couple of places around this racetrack.
It's such a wide racetrack. You know, there's a lot of options. He dives down to the inside right now. He's going to take the short way home just to see what's going on right there. A little test. And look, okay, I can do that.
Oh,
he says it.
He'll draft right up beside of Raj.
Last time he got up high, he got in there too deep. So obviously he's not planning on sitting back. He may have a stab at the front. Maybe he feels like he's quicker than both these guys, and I don't need to wait till the last lap.
Well, once again, spot on are you, 137.425. Beaubier has laid down the fastest lap of the race. He is, in fact, quicker, at least on that given lap, than both of his competitors. Still, Josh Hayes' best lap of this race is 138.371. Raj Hayden's best lap, 137.893. Cam Beaubier's the fast lap of the race, 137.4. So really, Josh has got his hands full here this afternoon, and I think he probably knows it. As the laps are really beginning to wind down, it's we are 3/4 of the way through this one right now.
You know, the big difference in riding style between the two Yamaha riders is Josh Hayes continues to still sit more up on the motorcycle and doesn't get his head off the inside of it very much to offset the weight. And I I don't know that's going to pay off for him this year. You know, I mean, it's worked for him for a long time, but now when you got a guy as capable as Cam Bobier is, and we've seen some great things out of him last year, he's really starting to use his body a little bit more, getting off the inside more like the GP guys do. Down on the inside, look at the speed of his bike. He's got some mile an hour on these guys, and he knows it. He's going to go ahead and try to get out front and see if he can't do something with this.
Cam made that look really easy. Then at the line, Hayes decided, okay, two can play that game. He goes back to the inside. Meanwhile, Roger Hayden is just riding along watching the two teammates out of the Monster Energy Graves Yamaha can't battle it out in front of him. I got a feeling that Roger Hayden also believes he can win this one. I think that all three of these riders right now believe they can win this one. This is a classic heads-up American Superbike battle with three riders.
There's no doubt. This is a good thing for Josh Hayes. He needs to get behind Cam because they've run him down. So now it's time for him to go to school, so to speak, and see. And I don't know that he's run with his guys with him in practice. Probably not. He typically likes to do his own thing. You see a little bit of a hiccup. That's not a big deal for these guys. Just hard acceleration. But this is good for Josh to say, okay, wow, this is where he's really good, and take a look at maybe how he's riding the bike a little bit, and maybe he can alter something and have another go at it.
You asked him in your interview with him how he felt about his new teammate. He said, I like my new teammate, just don't follow me in practice and qualifying.
Yeah, well, I don't know that he needed to. It turns out he out-qualified Josh, so and that's kind of been one of Josh's big pet peeves. He didn't like Aaron following him, didn't like anybody following him, but, you know, now, you know, sometimes you need that. Now he's going to be doing some following, it looks like this year. It's already happening, but sometimes, you know, you can learn more. You continue to learn in this sport as a rider, even at our age, you know.
Nobody stays the same. You're either going forward or going backwards, and others are doing the same. You can find yourself, you can be the hare, you can be the chased or the chasee at any given moment in this class.
Well, now he's getting a bit feisty with him. He's scrapping back. And last lap he thought about going back down the inside and taking the lead from Cam. He didn't do it. Big head check out there. He'll touch the brake lever. He might kick the brake pads out as he goes to that brake zone. Everything's good. So, you know, now he's starting to fight back. He said he kind of let him have it last lap. He said, I'm going to get back up there and fight with this kid.
Oh, this is good stuff right here. Josh Hayes has worked himself back around his teammate Cam Bobier. Bobier in a 2 spot. I continue to be impressed with Roger Hayden as Hayden rides back patiently now in the 3 spot. Other than a couple of moves in the tri-oval under drafting, Roger has been seemingly content to ride along there in the 3 spot. Maybe he doesn't want to show his hand until the end, and the end is drawing nigh. We can see that by the leaderboard. Lap 11 of 15. We are getting down to it here in American Superbike.
Roger's done a great job adapting to this new team, and it's the same motorcycle, but it is different. You know, he's kind of riding right in there, just watching. And he's going to be a player here, I think, again. But they do seem to get off that chicane a little bit better. Those Yamahas look like they're gapping him a little bit right there, and Roger's going to have to try to find a way to clean up that chicane a little bit more, possibly, if he wants to be able to draft by these guys at the finish.
He said the electronics were a little bit different on the Yoshimura Suzuki than what he'd been accustomed to on the Jordan Suzuki team. So apparently they're running a little bit different package as Hayes really get the R1 bin over there. He's got to, because Cam Bobier's given him all that he wants. And you're right, if Raj could get out of the chicane just a little quicker and be there, we've been saying that now for some time, so we'll see if he can produce here in the closing moments of this one.
You gotta wonder now, you know, you see in the back of the lap for 138.5, 138.5, 138.3 for Raj that last time by. Cam's running a 37.4, so he's got more in the pocket. He's really working his rear top harder than any of the other 2 guys. It looks like to me he's getting more spin. That could be that he's running less TC. From what I know, Josh runs the bare minimum of traction control, and that means that's what shows him how smooth he really is, because he's not getting the thing all out of shape like Cam. Cam's constantly learning how to ride this thing, but is that going to play a part as we get down to these last couple laps? Has he used up the better part of his tire? Does Josh have that little bit more left in him?
That's true, because Cam had to make up a lot of distance on these guys, and to do it, he had to turn in a couple of blistering good laps, and that can take its toll on a tire.
I think Roger, sitting in the back there, has been able to just kind of draft off. Look, he's got a good run now. He's kind of saving the tire. By sitting back there, you don't realize it, but coming off the corner, following guys, it's easier on your tire. They're pushing the initial wind out of your way, so that does come into play. We'll see if Roger's been just kind of sitting there waiting.
I believe he has, and the teams are showing him the lap boards, and these guys are fully apprised of how deep we are into this race. And our race leader, excuse me, I believe that's Cam Beaubier, has done it again. That will be a big-time mistake. Not enough time to probably make that distance up.
Those have got to be false neutrals. He just doesn't, you know, I mean, and it's hard when you get to turn one. You're going so fast as you're downshifting down the first gear, the top gear. There's a lot of downshifting going on, and obviously he's had some issues in there, or either he just got in there hot and felt like, if I turn, I'm going to tuck the front. Thank God there's all that paved room out there on the outside of turn one where he can afford to make that mistake, but he's left it too far now. With only 2 laps left, I don't see him making that much ground back up.
Well, we've got a 2-rider battle, I believe, probably down to the end of this one, unless he does something really heroic or a problem happens up front. They're working 13 of 15. We're going to get the indication of 1 remaining soon, and we'll see if Roger Hayden has in fact been sandbagging a little bit on Josh Hayes, because it is coming down to that point in the race when you've got to show what you've got. Raj getting a good drive out that time, good little wheelie. That's probably not what he wanted to do, but making plenty of horsepower is the Yoshimura Suzuki factory GSXR 1000. Back a little deeper in the field, Chris Fillmore for you KTM fans running in the 7th spot. 6th spot rather.
I mean, just looking at that right there, I thought he might go ahead and try a run around the outside just to really see. It looks like he may have backed out of it just a tick before showing his hand to Josh Hayes. This is the last lap, so we're going to find out here in a minute.
White flag has been displayed to our race leaders and the balance of the field as they come by here in the tri-oval. And my partner says perhaps Roger didn't want to stir up the hornet's nest prematurely. He doesn't mind stirring it up. He might just like to stir it up when the hornet can't sting him. So they're heading around this racetrack for the final time. The first race of 2014 for American Superbike. Raj Hayden on a brand new team. Josh Hayes has done what he needed to do. He got out front. He set the pace. He did fall back to second a couple of times in this one. But we are going to see who's got what as the closing moments are upon us.
Oh, he's got a good run. Both of them do out there. Little lap riders there.
Watching for our race leaders here at Daytona International Speedway, because they're going to be coming to the checkered flag. And
here we go. Hayes has got a good run out of there, and Roger's allowed. There's a lot of room to be made up right there. Look at that Suzuki. He's just getting in the draft now. Here you can see it starting to really pay off.
He's feeling it.
I think he's timed it right. You can see the back end slide of Roger's bike as he come off NASCAR.
Raj goes to the high side. Hayes fights back on the inside, and Josh Hayes will win the American Superbike opener here at Daytona International Speedway. You might say, well played, Josh Hayes.
That was awesome. I mean, Roger played it perfect. It just like the Suzuki ran out of steam when he got out there and pushing his own wind. The Yamaha's able to kick just that little bit more, a couple mile an hour right there at the finish line.
Josh is very happy. Well, you and I are going to get, and our watchers we're all going to get another look at this one, I'm sure, in a moment. But when we do watch it, Scott, it looked to me as if Raj kind of got behind Josh Hayes at the moment when he didn't need to coming into the tri-oval. He had the momentum, but he kind of, either Josh moved a little, maybe the replay will tell us, but he had to kind of roll out the throttle or something just a little bit, and it killed his momentum. Let's take another look here. We'll take another look. Let's take a look at Cam Beaubier running off of the racetrack. That's the one we want to see first. As the celebration continues by Josh Hayes lapping this racetrack, saying hey to all the fans around the racetrack. He's earned that victory.
He knows that, you know, the teammate he's got this year is the real deal. Here we go. We're going to have a look at Cam running out of racetrack here. And he just got, oh, he tucked the front end right there, way in there too hot.
Had to stand it up and
got in
save
on
it.
the, oh, see that?
Yep.
He got in there on the draft. I don't know that that was a false neutral. I think he just got sucked in on the draft, and it's different on a superbike. You're going over 200 miles an hour. I can't imagine what that feels like. But nevertheless, made a great run back from the first mistake there. And
here we are.
Got another run. This is the run to the line.
This is NASCAR 3, headed into 4 for the final time. Josh Hayes with an 8-10 bike length advantage, but Scott Russell, you called it. Raj was feeling the draft. Here he comes. He closes right up on Hayes. That little jog kind of cost him a little
Yeah,
bit.
it just didn't seem like it was there, you know, for him. I don't know that their bikes are so evenly matched. And to be honest, in Josh Hayes' credit, he did a great move coming off a NASCAR 4. Typically, you would let the bike drift way out to the wall. Well, he cut that down tight, and in turn it made Roger turn tighter. It looked like the back end got a little bit squirrely as he come off a NASCAR 4, and that could have been the difference. But Hayes tried something different there and stayed low off an NASCAR 4, and it looked like it worked out well.
Okay, so am I safe in saying that for Josh Hayes, it's a win? For Roger Hayden, though, it's a form of a victory because he's on a brand new bike, brand new team, and he's running with the man who has been declared the class leader for 3 years now or 4. So he's in the game right now with the Yoshimura Suzuki team.
Oh yeah, I mean he's got to be happy with the performance on the new team. I know he's not happy inside the helmet. He don't want to finish second. I know when I finished second, you didn't want to be anywhere near me for about 30 minutes. But if he's any kind of racer, that's what's going on in his mind. Okay, yeah, I'm good with the bike, but man, I let that one get away.
There's Chuck Graves and the Graves Motorsports guys all giving him a hand as Josh Hayes pulls into the winner's circle here at Gatorade Victory Lane. What a moment in time. Josh has certainly turned the start of his season around 180 from this time last year, as he will be atop the box instead of 17th or 18th at the end of this one. He is the man of the hour. Christy Lee is in Gatorade Victory Lane. We'll be throwing it to her in a bit. But right now, there's a good bit of organization has to take place down there to do that. Okay, for all of you joining us here at fanschoice.tv, I invite you to join us this evening at 7:30 p.m. for opening ceremonies for the round 2 of the AMA Pro Grand National Flat Track Series. It's going to be taking place just over behind the banking here at Daytona in Turn 1 and Turn 2 as we get ever closer to Gatorade Victory Lane, and we'll be tossing it down the trackside to Christy Lee in just a few moments. Scott, great day thus far. We still have another full day tomorrow, including the 73rd running of the Daytona 200, Super Sport Race 2, SuperBike Race 2, and the Daytona 200. Doesn't get any better than this.
Nah, at least I got the night off, man. You got to keep working.
It ain't working.
Hey, that's right.
Announcing flat tracks like road racing, man. It isn't working.
Awesome. Yeah, no, it's been a 5 hours up here went by like that to me. So it's been good. I can't wait for tomorrow. And,
I agree.
That big 200 race.
Let's go down to Gatorade Victory Lane for the final time today to Christy Lee. Christy?
Number 2, Cameron Bobier taking the 2013 GoPro Daytona Sportbike Championship last year, bumping up to American Superbike this year. Great way to start the season out there. You did take the pole position today, finished in 3rd, but you got to feel good about that race.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I made a few mistakes, just rookie year. You know, a rookie mistake, and I was all excited. I was up the front battling with those guys. They were riding really good. Made a mistake, burned up my tire after I blew the first corner, trying to catch back up to them and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really happy. I can't thank Keith for giving me this, or enough for giving me this opportunity. The whole Monster Energy Graves Yamaha team has been working awesome and got me really comfortable on the bike.
There you have it. Words of your 3rd place finisher today. Number 2, Cameron Bobier. Congrats once again. We'll see you up on podium in just a moment. Let's see if we can find our top place finisher today. Doing some congratulating with the team and crew, of course. Let's see if we can grab the number 4 of Josh Hayes here. Josh, strong race out there. I gotta say it, definitely a much better start to the season this year than last year here at Daytona.
There's still one to go, so, but I couldn't be more happy. You know, it was a great day. It was a really fun race, and it was a lot of nervous pressure out there. You know, there was a +0 on my board the whole time. I actually had the gap for a little bit there, or the +1 on my board. And they closed it down, and I'm like, all right, man, just stay settled down, ride smart, and let's just put together a good race. And got in a little battle with Cam, and you know, just was having a good time. So it was fun racing, and hard on the nerves, hard on the old ticker, but I still got a few tricks up my sleeve. Let's see if I can pull out some more tomorrow, maybe.
There you go, 3-time AMA Pro Superbike champion, number 4 of Josh Hayes, coming on strong this year. Let's see if we can grab our second place finisher today. Let's sneak in here and grab the number 95 of Roger Hayden, taking second place today in our Superbike race, first race of the weekend. You're on a new bike with a new team. Tell us about your ride.
Yeah, you know, just hung there in the draft and waited toward the end to try to make my move, and just came up a little bit short there at the end. But you know, it's a great start. You know, with the new team, you know, Yoshimura Suzuki, those guys have been working really hard, getting me comfortable on the bike. So it's a good first start. Looking forward to tomorrow. Try to make a few changes and just be a little bit better.
Well, Raj, congratulations once again on your second place finish. We'll catch you up on podium in just a moment. Guys, throw it back up to you.
That's Christy Lee reporting from Gatorade Victory Lane at Daytona. She's done a fabulous job here today, as always. And Christy will jump on an airplane now and head off to film all day tomorrow in All Girls Garage. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's good stuff. And then tomorrow, Danielle Teal, the CBS Sports Network reporter who worked on your team last year, Scott Russell, and of course the associate editor for Next Moto Champion and co-host of the Thursday night Next Moto Champion road race show at nextmotochampion.com. She will be joining us tomorrow in place of Christy. We're thankful to have her on board. Now, for those of you who aren't watching or can't see, Christy just goes right over and changes microphones and headsets, and now she's working for Daytona International Speedway, doing Gatorade Victory Lane live to the house here for the fans at the track, listening on PA at the track, which is very, very cool. We're going to go there now. Let's go and rejoin our podium celebration with Christy Lee.
On his Yamaha Monster Energy Graves Yamaha. Come on up here. There he is. Ooh, give you a second to catch your breath as well. All right, Cameron, great race out there. I just talked to you just a moment ago, and I'm going to ask you the same question again. Rookie season with American Superbike, moving up from GoPro Daytona Sport Bike last year, taking the championship. How do you feel about your ride, and how do you feel about your first race this weekend?
I'm feeling good. A little bummed I blew the first corner, but I mean, it was a rookie mistake. I just got to give it up to my whole crew, Yamaha Monster. Or man, I just totally messed that up. Monster Energy Graves Yamaha. They got me really comfortable instantly on this R1, and I can't thank them enough. And Keith for giving me this opportunity. I'm gonna go back and do some homework tonight and come back swinging tomorrow.
There you go, the words of your third place finisher today, the number 2 of Cameron Bobier on his Monster Energy Graves Yamaha R1. Congrats again. All right, let's bring up our second place finisher, the number 95 of Roger Lee Hayden on his Yoshimura Suzuki. Come on up here, Raj. Roger, great race out there this afternoon. Definitely some tough competition up there in the front pack. You're with a new bike and a new team this season. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, it went pretty good. I was a little slow the first couple laps, and Josh got a gap. But once we settled in, I just kind of stayed behind Cam there and let him. I didn't want to race with him and slow us up, so I let him kind of pull us back to Josh. And from there, I just tried to wait the last couple laps and tried to make a move, and just came up a little bit short. I can't thank the whole Yoshimura Suzuki team enough. My whole crew, the bike was as good as anybody's. So a few changes for tomorrow, and hopefully just a little better.
There you go, the words of our second place finisher, number 95, Roger Lee Hayden on his Yoshimura Suzuki. And finally, let's bring up our big winner today for our first Superbike race this weekend here at Daytona International Speedway, the number 4 of Josh Hayes on his Monster Energy Graves Yamaha R1. Josh, I'm sure you've been so tired of hearing this all weekend long, and I just asked you moments ago about it. You had a really rough start to the season last year in Daytona. You got to be happy with this. Although there is another race ready tomorrow, you still got to be happy with your results. Congrats.
Yeah, I'm real happy. Like, You know, we were on a good string of pole positions, and qualifying didn't quite go our way this time, but oh man, to get a race win at Daytona, that always feels good and makes me look forward and takes a little pressure off of tomorrow. I'm gonna go out and have a bit more fun. I kind of got today in the books. I can have a good time and not feel the pressure that I felt today out on the racetrack, and hopefully go a little faster and still have a good race with these guys. And if I have to, I'll pull out some more old dirty tricks and see if I can keep myself in the front.
Congratulations once again on the win. Number 4 of Josh Hayes on the Monster Energy Graves Yamaha R1. Guys, keep your hands together and give it up for our top 3 finishers today with AMA Pro Superbike. Guys, we'll have another race tomorrow. Congratulations once again to our top 3, and I'll throw it back to you up in the tower.